Surprising facts about the Beastie Boys you never knew. Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video here on Celeb Corner. The Beastie Boys is probably among the most influential hip-hop groups today, but did you know they started as a joke, literally? Their first release to hit the popular airwaves became a frat house anthem to party. What few people knew then and even fewer now know is they intended the song to be ironic. In this video, we take a look at some mind-blowing facts about the Beastie Boys you never knew. Stay tuned! Before we start with today's video, however, make sure you subscribe to our channel and also turn on the bell for latest notifications and updates. Make sure you never miss another video. With that said, let's jump into today's video. New York or Los Angeles? Most people know that the boys are from New York, but few people know there were many years where they lived in Los Angeles. Since they were in the recording industry, there was a lot of travel. Los Angeles came up, of course, but in 1988, they moved their operation to LA. In fact, Paul's Boutique, the flop album that made a slow rise to fame via the underground, they recorded in Young's Koreatown apartment. In 1996, Young moved home to New York. The other two followed soon after. Punk roots. When the boys first started recording music, it wasn't all hip-hop and Big Mustache. In fact, it wasn't just boys. It wasn't even a trio. Their earliest performances were punk shows. There were 4 members in the first version of the Beastie Boys. It was Michael Diamond, Adam Yauch, and 2 people who would later leave the group when Adam Horovitz joined. Their names were John Barry and Kate Schellenbach. Horovitz was playing guitar in another band, but when John and Kate dropped out, that left the door open for Horovitz. What followed was hip-hop, at first in small doses, but they never forgot their punk roots. Philanthropy. Yauch discovered Tibetan Buddhism later in life, which changed much about his path. It also altered the paths of Horovitz and Diamond. If you listen to their music closely, later tracks from the boys would feature Tibetan monks chanting. Proceeds from sales would go towards the Tibetan freedom movement. In case you didn't know, Tibet is under Chinese rule. Yauch was so engaged with freedom for Tibet, he started a fund called the Mila Rapa Fund. His passion for Tibetan freedom spilled into the hearts of other bands. The Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rage Against the Machine were 2 bands who also campaigned for Tibetan freedom. Together, these groups raised millions of dollars in an effort to free Tibet. Regrets. The first big-time success from the Beastie Boys was License to Ill, which featured the track everyone knows, You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. The boys wanted the original title of the album to be Don't Be a Faggot. Early in the band's career, they were many things, including homophobic, racially insensitive, and derogatory towards women. They would later regret those associations for many reasons, but mostly because people grow up. The boys worked hard to overturn these perceptions. Still to this day, in recent news, vandals spray-painted swastikas on the playground equipment of a park named after Yauch. The remaining members of the boys are rallying anti-hate demonstrations in response to the graffiti. Record producers. Everyone knows the Beastie Boys can kill it from the mic, but as it happens, all 3 of them are just as talented behind the recording studio soundboard. Ed Rock has a prolific career as remix artist, 41 Small Stars, and Mike D is 1/3 of the Latch Brothers, who've remixed everyone from Nelly Furtado to the Beasties themselves. And in a nod to their punk rock roots, it was Adam YCA Yauch who was the production mastermind behind seminal DC hardcore act the Bad Brains' 2008 comeback album Build a Nation. Film directors. Before his untimely death in 2012, MCA had proven himself a promising talent in the film world, directing both the Beasties' awesome I Fucking Shot That concert film, as well as the acclaimed basketball documentary gunning for that #1 spot. But lest you think MCA's cinematic talents were limited to documentaries and concerts, he's also sat in the director's chair for Fight for Your Right Revisited, the star-studded mind-warping short film that accompanied the release of the Beasties' 2011 album Hot Sauce Committee Part 2. Media moguls. The Beastie Boys may not be the only or even the first example of artists to branch out into production and distribution, but they're certainly one of the best. Forget Mike D's largely inconsequential Grand Royal Records, which went bankrupt in 2001, less than a decade after its creation. The Beasties' true mogul status stems from the MCA-founded Oscilloscope Laboratories and accompanying Oscilloscope Pictures, the studio behind most of the Beastie cinematic output. Oscilloscope has also put out dozens of critically acclaimed feature films and documentaries from around the world, including the Allen Ginsberg biopic Howl, the punk rock Fatherhood doc The Other F Word, and the apocalyptic black comedy It's a Disaster. As you can see, the Beastie Boys were an incredibly talented group of artists. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching!